All right, guys. So I wanted to talk to you all about guitar lessons. I recently started taking guitar lessons again, and that's been a huge factor in how I've begun to take my practices. So I thought, well, I think it's something worth sort of thinking out loud to all of you about it. So that's what we're gonna do. I started taking lessons with Christopher Ladd. He's someone that I was introduced to through John. John, in case you don't know him, he is he's a fellow live streamer who practices, who live streams his guitar practices, and he takes lessons with Chris. And so when I was thinking about taking lessons, I thought, well, let me try this guy. Let me try this guy, and so far it's been a great choice. But yeah, so if you guys don't know who John is, his YouTube handle is JC Practices, and you can watch him practice as well. He also does some math streams. Apparently, he's kind of branching out. Although I think that's what his main thing is. He's a coder, so he's good with numbers. And yeah, so for those of you that feel like that might be up your alley, or he's similar in personality or interest to you, look him up. So yeah, I've been taking lessons recently with Chris, again, Christopher Ladd, great guitarist and great teacher. I wasn't sure, if he was the right one. I figured, let me take a couple and see what it's like. And it turns out, man, he's been giving me just a bunch of gold nuggets, and it's really helped my playing. So lessons for those of you that are not sure, you don't know what the approach should be in your particular situation. I will say this: if you're just a hobbyist, you just kind of want to learn here and there. You're not trying to, perform concerts and stuff like that. You just want to learn some songs here, or some pieces, I should say. Maybe some songs. Maybe you do sing. But if you just want to learn some pieces here and there, you can actually get quite a bit of knowledge just here on this platform on YouTube. Plenty of people have been willing to share some of their practice routines, their secrets, tips and tricks, and all that stuff, and that can really be all you need. But if you're looking to see how good you can get, if you want to sort of maximize your ability, your technique, and perhaps you do want to perform, then lessons, I think, is what you need to do. And I'm not even talking about an online guitar course, which I actually do have. I do have a Patreon. I have online guitar course, and I break down exercises out of a couple of books. You could check that out if you'd like. But we're talking about lessons specifically. That would be the next level, right? You take a look at those courses, and then you get even more information. It's more in depth, and it's not just you trying to piece things together from this video and that video. It's like, okay, here's the book. Let me explain to you the things you need to know for this exercise, or the things you need to watch out for. Here are the skills that you're going to have to practice, or that are the skills that are going to be utilized in this particular piece or this exercise. So those online courses are great for that. And I'm not the only one. It sounds like I'm trying to sell my online guitar course. There are plenty of others, and they all do the same thing. They talk to you about, the things you need to know. But at some point, if you kind of want to go above and beyond that, it's important that you find a personal instructor to help you with your particular strengths and weaknesses. And that's where the lessons really shine. Because although you can get a lot of information on YouTube videos, and even more in-depth information from the online guitar courses, and they're more ordered, right? And there's a structure that really helps. But neither of those are going to give you, or going to tell you, hey, that spot right there, you need to fix that. Let me show you how. And that's why lessons are so invaluable, and that's why lessons are pricey. And which is a great segue. Lessons are a great motivator. So let's say you have a lesson every week, and you don't practice. Okay, well, you're still going to have to pay for the lesson. Let's say you pay it monthly, right? You pay for the 4 lessons over the course of the month. Okay. And you don't practice. You're like, okay, well, I'm just throwing my money away. So so there's two things that are going to happen. One of two things. Either you just stop taking lessons, or like, okay, I gotta hunker down. I gotta start practicing. And so you start practicing. And for some people, that's one little, that's one way to motivate yourself to practice, because you can either, okay, I'm just wasting my money. Okay, well, I guess I should just stop practicing. I should just not get my lessons and just practice whenever I feel like it, which is not ideal, by the way. Or you're like, okay, well, I'm paying this guy or this person, let me practice. And I feel like I'm kind of talking too much about that particular aspect of it, but lessons will help you practice. They'll motivate you to practice, but more importantly, they'll really tell you where you're going wrong. And you can't get that from an online course. You can't get that from a YouTube video. So if you're a bit more serious, you might want to consider taking lessons, because they're going to tell you, hey, I see this. There seems to be this pattern in this piece, in this piece, in this piece, in this piece. So let's address it. So it could be a right hand thing. It could be a left hand thing. The thing is, you don't know, right? It's hard to step outside of yourself. And I tell my students this all the time. You have to do that. But it's hard to do that if you're not at a certain level, because you don't know what you're looking for. Right, so that's also something to consider. Unless you've already been educated and you know a lot about the particular piece, or a lot about just the instrument in general, the classical guitar in this case, since this is a classical guitar channel, then it's going to be hard for you to teach yourself, which is the ultimate goal, right? The ultimate goal is to be educated enough to know where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are. And then start to tailor your practice sessions and the exercises that you choose, the technical exercises that you choose for your left hand, for your right hand. You can be able to choose the ones that you need to fix what you need fixing. But you have to get to a certain level first. So lessons are a great thing for that. But even if you can already do that, it is always it is always invaluable to have a second opinion, to have someone that is just outside. There's a difference between stepping outside yourself and watching yourself, and someone who's just able to do that. Right? It's never going to be the same. There's always going to be a blind spot. No matter how well you can step outside yourself and look at yourself. So I think even as you progress into the more advanced levels, lessons are still great, and I'm a testament to that, because I have my bachelor's, I have my master's, I studied, I did my senior recital, I did a recital for my master's program. I teach at the college. But Chris has been able to really say, hey, this is something that you need to focus on. I'm seeing this, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing this. And a lot of it's really fundamental. And I'm starting to think back about all of my instructors. Well, when I first started playing, I was just learning how to read, no biggie. And then that was with, her name was Karen, classical guitarist. I didn't know at the time, but she used to come in with practice session with a sock on her arm. I didn't know, I was like 9. I wasn't going to ask. I wasn't, I guess, curious enough. But she was a classical guitarist, so she taught me how to read. And then I studied with some guy at a local music store, Matt, electric guitarist. And he taught me a lot of music theory, because I wanted to learn how to write music, write songs. And so he taught me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 5 to the 1, all that stuff, because I was interested in that. And then I had Rogelio, we called him. His name was Roger, Rogelio. And he'd just teach me a bunch of songs. He would just listen, and then he'd learn it, and then he'd teach me. Same way Matt did, but Matt also taught me music theory. And then I had Bill, and he was the one that taught me proper classical guitar technique. I feel like this is a bit of a tangent, but I guess if you want to know my history. And he taught me at the college that I now teach at. And then I went to university, and then I was under Michael Miranda, Martha Masters, And then in my master's program, I was with Stuart Fox and Miroslav Tadic. And for some reason or another, I don't know how it happened. It was just overlooked. I still have a lot of tension in my playing, and Chris has been instrumental in getting me to play so that goes away. And just the way that he breaks things down has been really helpful. So all that to say that lessons at any point are great. If you stop lessons too early, or if you start lessons too, you can never really start lessons too early. If you start lessons too late, there's going to be a lot of bad habits that you're going to have to unlearn and work out of your playing. Not necessarily a good position to be in. If you stop lessons too early, I think that's what I was trying to say. If you stop lessons too early, then there's a chance you're going to miss some things. You're not going to learn everything. And if you stop lessons entirely, I think that can be a sort of negative thing, even if it's just like a peer-to-peer, because at some point you do get to a level where, okay, like no one can teach you because you know so much, you know what you're doing. But even at that level, I'm not there, but I'm considering that even at that level, you have peers that can say, hey, it could be a discussion, maybe not a lesson, but still, you're bouncing ideas off of each other. And I think that is invaluable. And in some ways that can be a lesson, right? Because they're going to tell you some things that you don't know. But at the same time, you will, I'm sure, be able to tell something that they don't know. And in that way, it's a type of exchange of ideas. It's no longer teacher-student, but, you still have this. You know what? Even if you are a concert guitarist, you have the old school guitarists, and they're going to have a bit of wisdom, and I guess it turns into not about the guitar, but about the mental and how to approach a concert, or they could even teach you how to teach, which is also what Chris is doing inadvertently, indirectly. I'm not asking him to teach me how to teach, but the way he's teaching me, I'm like, oh, okay, this is great. Now I can use that with my students, and yeah. Again, these are totally unfiltered. I wouldn't have anything planned of what I was going to talk about, just the topic lessons. So take all of this with a grain of salt. It helps me get my ideas more solidified. Speaking out loud helps with thinking, for those of you that may not know that. But yeah, I guess that's all I really wanted to say. I don't know if I should have more to say or if I said too much, but that's I think I'm gonna leave it there. Lessons are a good thing. That's all I'm trying to say. If this video could be distilled into one sentence, guitar lessons are good. All right. Oh, last thing. This is something I did think about making sure to mention. Try and find someone that works for you. Obviously, I got lucky. Chris works for me. He's great. But sometimes, it could be a personality thing. Oh, it could actually be a teacher you're not ready for. It could be that. Like, because, some teachers, some professors, like, they're... Maybe from your angle, maybe you're not ready. Maybe you have too much ego. Maybe you're not ready to do the things that are required to get to that next level. And that could be a you thing. But it could also be a teacher thing. The teacher's not willing to tell you, keep your fingers curled. Like, no. Have someone else teach you that when you're ready and your ability is at a higher level. Okay, now I'm willing to show you what I know and what I feel, is going to help you improve. So you definitely have to find the right teacher. Shop around, Do one lesson, a couple lessons with one instructor, a couple lessons with another instructor, and then a third and a fourth if you can. I mean, nowadays everything is online. You could have your Zoom lesson, online, and you could, pick whoever you want and whoever's willing, and if they're, how do you say, offering, obviously they're willing. You pay them, you know, you have a lesson, you say, hey, I like this guy, oh, you know, and then you sort of work it out within yourself. Okay, this guy says this person says this person says this. I'm gonna go with this person. I think that's something that you should be doing if you're serious about it. Okay. All right, that's all I have. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, bye-bye.